Hello everyone, and welcome to a review that I did not know that I was going to be doing, because without you all, I'm so appreciative. Because of some of you who have donated to me through Super Chat on my live streams, I was able to get a palette that I otherwise would not have been able to afford. So this is all thanks to you guys. I mean, I was not planning on getting this palette to review because I didn't hear great things about it from the people that got sent this as PR. They were not pleased with the palette. I feel like for Too Faced, that's kind of rare. Like, people love their products, their chocolate bar palettes, their huge peach collection that they just came out with. And then they came out with this palette, and so I was like, you know, it doesn't look too super duper like thrilling to me, and it's really expensive, so I'm probably just not gonna do that. I have other products that I should be reviewing right now, but because of you guys, a lot of you have requested me to review this palette and everything, so I figured I may as well put the Super Chat money towards this palette. This is an expensive palette, however, you do get, ta-da! 30 eyeshadows in here. And actually, once you do like per gram out the price of everything, this is actually a pretty cheap palette. Now, granted, that being said, for $59, I expect something more than cardboard. And there is something more than cardboard. There is magnetic closure to this, and there's also velvet on the front of this, which I don't hate it. I just think it's strange. Why are the flowers velvety? Shouldn't the little bunny be velvety? That's a personal opinion. But Too Faced did what they want, and that's fine. I know a lot of people hate the velvet. I personally like it. I mean, it's a nice little touch to the palette, and it is very nice and thin and compact, which I very, very, very much appreciate. But, I mean, it's just cardboard. So I'm terrified that this is just going to crumble and snap at some point, because it does have a very nice large mirror, but, you know, it folds all the way back and there's no way to control that. So if you're gonna actually use the mirror, you have to hold the palette like this, which is basically what I do, or you have to prop it up against something. Otherwise, it's just gonna flop on open. Like I said, you get 30 shades in here. Honestly, I like this palette. Do I think it's worth $59? No. I really don't, because a lot of these shades end up muddling together and looking exactly the same. But that being said, what really sold me about this palette is the fact that half of the shades come from Too Faced previous palettes, like their neutral eyes palettes and those sorts of things. I'll have them, you know, listed on the screen and everything, and I'll be showing you on screen here which ones are from the previous palettes. Things like Makeup and Chill, Honey Pot, Lace Teddy, etc. are from previous palettes. There are 7 mattes in this palette, 7 matte shadows, and then the rest are definitely like either satins or shimmer satins or glitter, like chunky glitter. Fairy Tale is the chunky glitter hot mess shade. But it's really pretty when used correctly. You just have to keep in mind that it is Fallout City unless you're like pushing it on your lid. If you use a brush, expect to have a glitter face. Sometimes we go for those looks, and that's okay. Just be prepared for it. And a lot of these shadows, you know, definitely there is fallout, so do just tap off your brush before you go ahead and put them on your lids, or else you're gonna have a ton of fallout. But for me, I don't have a lot of Too Faced palettes. You know, I've got their chocolate bar palettes, their peach palette, but I don't have any of their, is it a 12 pan palette? They're like metal ones, like I said, like their natural eyes and like the Bourjois and those types of palettes. I don't have any of those. So for me, this is worth it in the sense that I don't really have these shades already, but for some of you, if you already have those palettes, this might seem like a huge waste, especially because, like I said, a lot of these shades end up blending and muddling together to look the same. I think this palette could have been done to the same effect with half of these shadows. A lot of the darker shades could have been kicked out because they muddle, and quite a few of the lighter shades I actually quite like. They're not as impressive as I want them to be. Like Kittens, I want Kittens to be beautiful, and it is, but it's not as beautiful as I feel like it could be. It doesn't pack as much punch as like Honey Pot, which is one of my favorite shades in this palette. You know, it's a very unassuming shade, but I really, really like it. I also love the matte shades that they included in this palette. For me, they are perfect, like transitional shades and just, you know, like under the brow type shades. So for me and my skin coloring, they work great. Same with Makeup and Chill and Stiletto, those matte shades. I know a lot of people were not pleased with Stiletto because it's not like a super duper opaque black, but I think in the whole scheme of things with this palette, it makes sense. Like, this isn't supposed to be a super impactful, dramatic palette. You can get there. I mean, I did this look with this palette and just like, you know, the eyeliner didn't come from the palette and I had to put a little glitter on top because things like Undercover, I feel like Too Faced is notorious for doing shades like this where they're beautiful. They're really, really beautiful and they're like a matte base, but then they've got glitter in it. So much potential. But the minute you put them on your lids, the glitter just falls right off and nope, you're done. You just get this muddled, blacky, nothing type of a shade. That goes for Chocolate Martini, Night Fever, etc. So I really wish that those shades could work because the thought of them is really nice. It's just in execution, it's just not there. And like I said, because a lot of these shades just kind of blend and muddle together, you're really only able to get a very few amount of looks out of this palette. Beautiful looks, and they are different, but they all kind of sort of end up looking the same-ish, depending on how you end up changing it up with eyeliner and that sort of a thing. I feel like for all of the looks that I've been able to put together, I've always wanted to like put something in my waterline to really make everything pop, because this is a neutral, natural palette. Very, very natural. This is for someone who loves natural looks, and that's okay. Some people do, and in which case this will be worth your money, I think. I also think that this would be a really nice gift for somebody, like for me, in the sense that, you know, I got this as a gift really from you guys, from Super Chat. As a gift, I love this. If I had spent my own money on it, I might feel a little bit more like, oh, what a waste. But I don't know, there's something about this where like, I feel like if you gift this to somebody, this is a fantastic gift and they won't be disappointed. Like, they'll be able to get their few-ish looks out of this, but those few-ish looks are beautiful and they're gonna really enjoy that. Pretty much everyone I've seen review this palette has said that these shadows don't last all day. I don't know what I'm doing differently, but these shadows look pretty much just as beautiful at the end of the night as they do when I put them on. Like, I feel like you can see in any of the first impression, like, Let's Test videos or YouTube Made Me Buy It's where I'm wearing this palette, you can see that by the end of the night, my eyeshadow still looks real darn nice. But I feel like I hear so many people say that, like, these just end up poof leaving or end up as fallout everywhere. I have never had that problem with any of these shadows. You know, fallout, yes, in the beginning if I forget to tab off my brush, but throughout the day, I think my eyeshadow lasts and looks really beautiful. So I don't know if it just depends on your eyeshadow primer or what's going on. I do have to use an eyeshadow primer no matter what eyeshadows I use. I use the Balms Put a Lid on It, and then I usually put some sort of like cream shadow on top, be it a MAC paint pot or like the Revlon paint pots or, you know, etc, etc. But I have not had any problem with the longevity of these shades. So I personally have actually been really enjoying this. I say actually because I really didn't think I would like it, but I'm honestly loving it a lot more than I thought I would. So I do think that this is really going to come down to personal preference and that sort of a thing, you know? And also keeping in mind that you're getting a ton of shadows. Like, there's a reason why this cost so much. I just think that with the cost, they could have put a little bit more of that cost into the packaging. I'm really, really bummed about it being cardboard. It's just kind of terrifying, you know? I get nervous every time I open this up. I just think about how this is wearing down little by little by little. But I do like the slimness. I just think they could have made something a little bit more durable. And I love how easily these all blend out. I really don't have any problem with them being patchy or skippy. Some of them are definitely more sheer than others, and definitely you're wanting to use a finger instead of a brush and all of that sort of stuff. But overall, I think these are work withable. I think think I've created some beautiful looks with these. I hope, you know, you guys think so too in my mini tutorials and everything. And overall, I have to give this palette a thumbs up. You know, you guys might think differently, but I just gotta be honest with you, I personally have been enjoying this palette. You might be able to better formulate your opinion once you see swatches and my mini tutorials and everything, so let's go ahead and hop on into those so that you can see all of that, and then I will see you all at the very end of the video. So, wish
Tell me
So that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that with swatches and with the tutorials and everything, it was really able to help you figure it out whether or not you want to get this and add it to your collection. I really do think this will be more of like for people who are collectors of Too Faced, or for people who are kind of like beginners, they don't have a ton of eyeshadow palettes and they want to add a pretty darn expansive range of shadows to their collection. But it also has to be someone who likes a lot of glitter. You know, I like a lot of glitter. I don't mind that at all. So for me, this is a great palette. I really do like it, and I really am appreciative for those of you that made it possible for me to get this palette. And yeah, like I said, I just hope you guys enjoyed the review, found it helpful. If you did, please do go ahead and give me a thumbs up down below. I'd really appreciate it. And if you're new here, hey, hi, hello, how are you? You can go ahead and subscribe if you want to see more content from me in the future. I'd love to have you here. And as always, I just hope you guys are all doing well. And until next time, just stay well until then. Bye!